Nadler for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to start by offering my condolences to Mr. Rosenberg. No parent should ever have to go through the pain of losing a child. I thank you for sharing Drew's story with the committee today. Mr. Chairman, today's hearing is on a topic that requires delicacy and nuance, two things the current House majority has struggled with in the past. No one on this dais wants dangerous criminals out on the streets, regardless of their immigration status. But we have to be careful not to paint all immigrants with a broad brush. Implying that all undocumented immigrants are criminals who wish to harm our country only lends credence to conspiracy theories that have already taken far too many lives. Next month, we will commemorate the anniversary of the El Paso shooting. On August 3rd, 2019, a domestic terrorist walked into a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, and murdered 23 people and injured 22 others. He posted a hateful and racist manifesto online prior to the attack, espousing white nationalist theories like the Great Replacement theory and claiming that there was a Hispanic invasion. He told investigators that he was targeting Mexicans. Last week, the shooter was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences by a federal judge. But no time in prison will help those grieving families get their loved ones back, nor will it help heal the physical, mental, and emotional wounds of the survivors. And it won't stop the next attack. It is for this reason that we must tread carefully. This is an important topic, and I look forward to a spirited debate with my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. But we cannot add fuel to a fire that has already left so much devastation in its wake. We all want to protect our country. We all want to keep people safe. We have different ways of achieving that goal. The administration takes our national security very seriously. That is why they put in place enforcement guidelines that, while not perfect, attempt to prioritize the removal of dangerous individuals. The previous administration chose to paint everyone with a broad brush. The Trump administration created a set of priorities that was so expansive, it included all undocumented and otherwise removable immigrants in the country. A jaywalker and a murderer were given the same degree of prioritization for removal. ICE started targeting people wherever they could find them, near schools, hospitals, and even at houses of worship. Undocumented immigrants who had been complying with ICE for decades would arrive at their regular check-ins and be placed into immigration detention without warning. People became afraid of law enforcement and afraid of continuing to work with ICE for fear that they too would be detained and removed. When everyone is a target, no one feels safe. Targeting undocumented immigrants who posed no threat to the country had consequences. During President Trump's time in office, the number of individuals in immigration detention who had been convicted of serious felonies fell by 20%. But during that same time, the numbers of detained immigrants grew, and soon immigrants with no criminal conviction at all became the majority of detainees in ICE custody. When President Biden took office, he directed DHS to prioritize targeting individuals who pose a threat to national security, public safety, and border security. President Trump chose to target everyone. As a result, his administration detained fewer people who committed serious crimes. President Biden's goal was to use our finite resources to prioritize detaining and removing those who pose the biggest threats to us. Unfortunately, Republican state attorneys general who disagreed with this goal sued to block the implementation of these priorities. In 2022, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas enjoined the policy, forcing the administration to revert to the previous administration's priorities or lack thereof. Last month, in an 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court overturned the injunction, ruling that it was the executive branch's prerogative to set enforcement priorities and that the administration could once again move forward with them. Now that the administration is once again allowed to set its own priorities, we will be able to see which approach will be more effective. I thank the witnesses for coming today. I look forward to hearing their testimony, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you. Without objection, all other opening statements will be included in the record. Let me now introduce today's witness.